Hey everyone, it's Miss Mary again. Today we're going to be talking about a word that is very difficult for most people to do. I know it's hard for me to do sometimes, and it's called patience. And we're going to learn more about what that word means in just a minute, so stay with me. Okay, we're going to read a book today by the Berenstain Bears, and it's called Patience, Please. And the book was written by Mike Berenstain. Brother, sister, and Honey Bear enjoyed helping Mama and Papa in the garden. There were fine vegetable garden in the backyard, as well as beautiful flower beds all around the bear family's treehouse. The cubs helped plant seeds, water, and weed. They also helped pick the veggies when they were ripe. One spring morning, as the family worked in the garden, Papa posed a question. "Cubs," he said, "would you like to have gardens of your very own?" "You mean we can have our own plots of land?" Brother asked. "That's right," said Papa. "And we can grow whatever we want?" added Sister. "Of course," said Papa. "You'll have to do all the work yourselves. It will teach you self-reliance." "Yay," said Honey. "That's a good idea, Papa," said Mama. "It will teach the cubs patience, too. They have to be very patient when helping things grow." Papa and Mama guided the cubs in selecting plots of ground for their gardens. The cubs laid them out with stakes and string. Then the whole family went down to Ruth's Grizzly's hardware store to buy seeds. It was hard to select which vegetable to grow. There were so many different kinds. Brother chose cucumbers, tomatoes, celery, lettuce, and parsley. Sister picked carrots, squash, radishes, potatoes, and peas. Honey loved flowers. She stood gazing at the pretty pictures on the seed packages for a long time, and finally she grabbed a big handful. The next day the cubs set to work. It was hot and hard labor. Brother and sister were very organized. First they turned up the soil with shovels and worked in the fertilizer. Then they made neat rows and dug small holes and dropped the seeds in. Then they made signs from the seed packets to mark the end of each row. Finally, they got out the hose, gave the garden a good soaking. It did require a lot of patience. Honey went about things a bit differently. She tore the tops off her flower seed packages, stood in the middle of her plot, closed her eyes, threw her arms out, spun around and around, and the flower seeds flew everywhere. Brother and sister were a little startled. "Honey," said sister, "I don't think that's going to work. You need to till the ground before you plant the seeds." "Pretty flowers," said Honey, pointing at a picture on one of the empty packages. "Yes, but," began Brother. Honey ran off chasing a butterfly. Brother and sister just shrugged. The next day, Brother and sister checked their garden to see if anything was sprouting. But it was too soon. They went out the next morning, too. There was nothing doing. Every day they checked their plots, but nothing seemed to be happening. The cubs grew impatient. "When is our garden going to sprout?" they asked Mama and Papa. "We have to be patient," said Mama. "Have faith. What you have planted will grow in God's good time." "Seems to me I remember lines in the Bible about that," said Papa. "See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it till it receives the early and the late rains? You also be patient." "That's from the book of James," said Mama. The cubs sighed, wishing things didn't take so long. The next day, Brother and sister wearily trudged out to check on their gardens one more time. All along each row, little green shoots were pushing up. "Mama, Papa," they called, "come look. our gardens are growing." Then they noticed Honey's little plot. Their mouths dropped open. Honey's garden was filled with beautiful flowers, big ones, little ones, red ones, pink ones, yellow and blue ones. They were gorgeous. "Well, Honey," said Papa with a chuckle, "God certainly made your garden grow. You've shown us the power of faith and trust along with patience." "Pretty flowers," said Honey happily. A dove cooed in a nearby tree. Flowers appeared on the earth. The season of singing has come. The cooing of doves is heard in our land. Mama quoted from the Song of Songs in the Bible. "I hear the dove, I see the flower," said Papa. "Now, how about a little singing?" He got down on one knee and sang to Mama, "My wild bearish rose, the fairest flower that grows." "Really, Papa?" said Mama, blushing. "What will the cubs think?" But the cubs giggled in delight. Okay, what'd you think about that book? It was pretty cute. It was about some little cub bears that got a chance to plant gardens. And the big brother and sister, they planted their garden like they were supposed to by digging up the dirt and adding fertilizer to it and then planting their seeds. And they marked each row so they'd know what was growing. But if you remember Baby Cub, she took her flower seeds, opened the packages, and just spun around in circles, and the seeds just flew everywhere. And every day, the sister and brother would go out and check their garden, and nothing was happening. And if you all have ever planted a seed before in dirt, whether it's been like in a little cup or if you actually planted one outside, you know it doesn't sprout up overnight. It takes a few days or maybe even a few weeks. And so you have to be patient. And that's what the brother and sister cub had to learn. They had to be patient. Because one day they did go out, and guess what? Their garden was growing. There were little green sprouts shooting up. But then they looked over where Baby Cub had just thrown her seeds all over the ground, and she didn't worry about anything. She just threw them down and left them. And they had grown up just all over the place. And she hadn't been patient, but she had faith that her seeds were going to grow. She didn't worry about it. And so this teaches us that we have to have patience in actually everything that we do. We need to be patient with our friends sometimes. We have to be patient with our little brother and sister sometimes. If they're a little slow, maybe putting their shoes on or getting dressed or washing their hands, it takes them a little longer because they're short. We have to be patient. And just like our moms and dads are patient with us, because trust me, how many times have your moms and dads said, "Would you please hurry and put your shoes on? Hurry up. We got to go. Hurry." They're trying to be patient, but it's hard to be patient. And so we have to remember that the Bible tells us to be patient. God's patient with us, because I know every day I must do things that God's like, "Oh, would you just come on? Come on, Miss Mary, you can do this. Just hurry up and get it right." But He's patient with me. And just like our moms and dads are patient with you at home. So let's remember to try to be patient when our friend is in front of us drinking water or whatever the case may be. The Bible tells us to be patient, to have patience. And that is a good thing to have. And God wants us to practice being patient. So we will finish our story with that today, and I hope to see you Sunday morning in Bible class. We are now having Bible class in the big room, and then right after Bible class we have kids worship. So I hope to see more of you there on Sunday, and until then, I will see you later. Bye-bye.